Hello, my name is Lucas Wessel, and we have a panel here. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Natalia.
I'm Keith.
I'm Cecilia.
I'm Billy.
And we're going to be talking about the play The Taming of the Shrew, written by William Shakespeare. Today, we're going to be going over different aspects of gender roles throughout the play. So, as I said, we're going to be talking about gender roles, and here's one of the examples shown in The Taming of the Shrew. So, Petruchio and Catherine begin to bicker to one another. The conversation begins to include sexual innuendos on a woman's role in a marriage. That is one of the examples of gender roles in the play. One of the quotes from it are, "Women are made to bear, and so are you." That is from Act 2, Scene 1, line 211. This shows how women are treated way differently than they are today. The conversation goes on with Petruchio speaking to Catherine with more hidden crude jokes. But once Catherine catches on to one that Petruchio makes, he immediately blames it on her. He claims he's a gentleman. The biggest example, though, of gender roles is when Petruchio threatens to cuff Catherine because of her behavior. This goes along with the old way of thinking that men discipline their wives, which is obviously very different today.
Bianca's suitors throughout the play only like Bianca because of her looks. Her suitors never actually talk to her throughout the play, but rather see her and compliment her looks. Baptista is in so much control in Bianca's life, as proven in Act 1, Scene 1, line 93, when he directs her to go into the house. This is proven by the lack of Bianca's lines throughout the play thus far. Bianca, who is the younger daughter of Baptista, hasn't had a say in who her suitor is, but rather has to blindly follow Baptista. Dremio is only into Bianca because of her looks and her youth and her father's money. Same thing with Trying. He never talked to her before now, but quote-unquote fell in love with her looks and insists upon marrying her now. None of her suitors actually know her, but insist on marrying her for reasons beyond her control.
In Act 1, Scene 2, lines 265 to 270, it says that the teacher decides on what Bianca and Catherine can or cannot do. He decides when they can find a suitor, who gets married first, and where they can or cannot go. It is all decided by him because not only is he a man, but he is their father. Him being their father gives him control over their lives because the gender roles of the time said that he should be in charge, and he should make those choices because a woman couldn't do it as well as a man. The choices of the woman didn't matter because their father deciding what they could or couldn't do. They had no choice in what happened to them and were usually told what to do by their father.
It's a very interesting point, Cecilia.
Thank you.
Suwaj.
Another example of gender roles in the Taming of the Shrew society is the scenario where Petruchio goes to meet Catherine to ask her to marry him. A scene that shows a specific conversation is Act 2, Scene 1, lines 282 to 294. "Marry, so I may, sweet Catherine, in thy bed, and therefore, setting all this chat aside, thus in plain terms, your father hath consented that you shall be my wife. Your daughter agreed on, and will you, I will marry you." It seems that Catherine accepts the marriage, but really she doesn't. Petruchio lies to Catherine that her father has agreed to the marriage without Catherine's consent. This basically shows that Petruchio is the dominant figure, as frequently shown, and Catherine doesn't have much to say, and isn't truly allowed to speak her truth, because of the male dominance displayed by her father Baptista and Petruchio, her supposed husband.
A final section that is representative of gender roles within the story Taming of the Shrew is when Baptista is deciding which of the two suitors that are trying to marry Bianca he's going to allow to do so. In Act 2, Scene 2, lines 414 to 420, Baptista says, "I must confess your offer is the best, and let your father make her the assurance she is your own. Else you must pardon me. If you should die before him, where's her dower?" Bianca doesn't have any sort of say in which one of the suitors she's going to marry, but that's just how it was during that time. Baptista also, however, plays the gender roles of Dremio and Tranio, the two suitors who are trying to marry Bianca in this section. He isn't very concerned about the physical appearance or anything really about them, but rather is concerned about their wealth and who can provide more to Bianca and the family. This bolsters the idea of arrogance amongst men during the time, which was popular.